Man, did I luck into a helluva week to fill in for Dustin writing the General Hospital soapbox column. I got devastating Geo fallout, Michael's opening volley, the epic Brooklyn/Lois confrontation, and Trina's first time with Kai. And what's coming next promises to be even juicier. Let's discuss. Was I the only one who wanted to see Jason punched repeatedly when he blocked Willow from following Michael out of the nurse's ball with their son Wiley? Dude stood there in the one outfit that he owns, scowling like he was auditioning for the Terminator, and freaking threatened the boy's mother not to give chase. And I know that Willow's on everybody's bleep list, and she was with skeevy boyfriend Drew. That's strike 1 and 2. But Jason couldn't have been more in the wrong if he tried. Court order be damned. He made himself an accomplice to a kidnapping, and with an undeserved righteousness too, considering that he's well aware that Michael's as big a cheat as Willow. The fallout from the Geo reveal continued to fire on all cylinders. Brooklyn's face-off with Lois was beyond soaptastic, and after all this build-up, well-earned. I didn't like Tracy forcing Geo to stick around at the Quartermains. Come on, give the kid a minute. But it was a very Tracy thing to do. Of course, as Lois was being read for filth right and left, the takedowns I was really waiting for were Lulu and Cody's. And there shouldn't have been enough beer in the world to brace them for what they had coming to them. Somehow, though, Lulu's takedown was also a letdown. Not sure how Dante came to the conclusion that she had tracked down the son he didn't know he had in order to get back together with him. But I did love her incredulous response. How would that even work? As eagerly as I'd anticipated these scenes, they mostly felt like a manufactured roadblock to a Lanty reunion rather than a permanent deal-breaker. At the end of the day, she chased after the truth he'd been denied for 20-ish years. That's at worst, ultimately, an I'll be mad at you for a few weeks kind of thing. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I adore Tabiana Ali. Look up radiant in the dictionary, and there she is, as far as I'm concerned. And Jen's Austin Astrup is a veritable charm factory. Yet I don't find myself all that invested in Trina and Kai. Maybe it's because General Hospital went the familiar dislike-to-like route with their relationship. Maybe it's because her grief over Spencer was given short shrift. Maybe I just need to watch Trina and Kai overcome some obstacles together to go all in. At least, their first love scene was given the full soapy treatment. Better background music wouldn't have gone amiss, but the tryst itself was romantic and sudsy. The way Michael and Sasha were written, it was obvious that the show intends to reheat the old flames. And that's fine, I guess. Rory Gibson is already proving to be every bit as wonderful as young and restless dad Joshua Morrow said he is, and his scenes with Sophia Matson had a lovely spark to them. But nothing about their storyline tracks. Sasha doesn't want her baby raised as a Corinthos and a Quartermain, but she'll pretend that it's Corinthos adjacent and a Quartermain. How is that any better? And Michael is going to move heaven and earth to get custody of Wiley and Amelia, but is, however reluctantly, willing to let go of his and Sasha's child. At least there are obstacles galore to Michael and Sasha's reunion. If they got together, it would only make it that much more in your face that he's her babby daddy, which in turn would muck up his plot to get custody of Wiley and Amelia. If you ask me, and no one ever does, the route the show should take is to have Michael and Sasha fall back in love, only to keep it a secret as he forces Willow to stay married to him if she wants to have anything to do with the kids. They could play out a War of the Roses type storyline, at the end of which their love/hate for one another veers back into love. At that point, a heartbroken Sasha could turn to Jason for real. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Nina Reeves' paternity spill could be risky since Sasha Corbin knows about Drew Kane's fling with Willow Corinthos' mom. Of course, the smartest thing for Nina to do here is keep herself out of the revelation, or at least try to. Now that Nina has figured out Michael Corinthos is the father of Sasha's baby, she needs to be careful about how she proceeds. Nina could find a sneaky way to pass along this scandalous info and keep her hands clean if Rick Lansing calls Sasha out on the witness stand. That'd be for the best considering Sasha has dirt on Nina too. Sasha is fully aware that Nina and Drew were sizzling behind closed doors while Willow was falling for him. Ava Jerome might offer a reminder about that in GA's May 30 episode when she gives Nina some advice. Nina has to play this just right, so Ava will try to steer her down the optimal path. However, it's tough to believe Nina will truly be able to avoid backlash if she's the reason why Sasha's secret comes to light. Sasha might try to keep lying that Jason Morgan is the father, but Rick could still do some damage with his paternity accusations regarding Michael. Rick might get the bartender who saw Sasha and Michael to testify, or maybe he could even score some security camera footage of them going in the hotel suite together. Regardless, if the paternity shocker blows up in court, Sasha will certainly have questions about how it happened. It's easy to imagine Sasha posing those questions to Maxie Jones, who may think back to when Nina was practically interrogating her about the night Sasha's baby was conceived. Nina even told Maxie that she'd helped more than she knew, so the wheels may start turning for Maxie in the end. Maxie may realize she inadvertently helped Nina figure out Michael was the baby daddy when they met up at Brown Dog Bar. That could make things doubly dangerous for Nina, since Maxie knows about her fling with Drew as well. If Sasha doesn't blab about Nina and Drew's hookups for revenge, then Maxie could do it for her. There are just so many ways this could go wrong for Nina, so we have to believe Willow will finally learn about her mom's passionate encounters with Drew. General Hospital spoilers say Nina's decision to rat out Sasha could lead to her own secret's exposure, so stay tuned for updates on whether Nina and Drew's scandalous news will blow up. Lois and Brooklyn talk, but things go south quickly. Lois thinks they should find Gio, but Brooklyn says that her own need to be forgiven doesn't outweigh his need to process what's gone down. BLQ goes on to say that if Lois is looking to be forgiven, she should look elsewhere. I have no interest in taking care of you and your feelings after you completely betrayed my trust. Lois insisted she did the best she could. You offered me a lifeline made of secrets, weeps Brooklyn, and God forgive me, I took it. Lois confesses that she didn't want to send the baby out into the world, she wanted to keep him close. We gave Gio a good home, Lois insists. We gave you your freedom, and that was the right thing to do. Lois suggests that had she not taken action, Brooklyn wouldn't have had the life she does. But BLQ feels robbed of the decision to make her own choices for Gio. She can't help Gio because he doesn't trust her, and neither she nor Gio will ever be able to trust again because of Lois' manipulations and lies. Brooklyn says Gio wants nothing to do with her, and she, in turn, wants nothing to do with her mom. Just then, Gloria enters and tells BLQ, "You want to have it out with someone. You have it out with me." Laura is surprised when she walks into Elizabeth's house and finds Rick there. When Rick excuses himself to get tea, Laura suggests to Liz that he'll swing by any time he knows Lucky is out of the house. There is so much talk of dragonberry juice, it feels like a paid promotion, but no brand is actually mentioned. Once Rick leaves, Liz assures Laura that while she and her ex will always be friends, she's definitely set boundaries with him. Laura says that Lucky clearly never fell out of love with Elizabeth, and that he no doubt sees Rick as a rival. Liz, however, has her doubts about the future. What do you do when you love someone and you know they are really good at rescuing you, but they're just not so good at the mundane day-to-day life stuff that makes a relationship work? Lucky is just like his dad, and Luke and Laura couldn't make it. What makes her and Lucky different, wonders Liz. Alexis takes a meeting with Christina and Lucky, laying it all on the line. If the police investigate the cut-break line, her daughter's going to prison. They discuss how many potential witnesses there were, and Christina admits that Dante knows she was on the scene. They come to the conclusion that the only real evidence is the car itself, which Ava bribed someone to hide. Alexis advises Lucky to stay as far away from the mess as he possibly can. Once alone with Christina, Alexis says their options are to find the car or get Rick and Ava, two greedy, disgusting, duplicitous people, to turn on each other. Christina immediately wants to help, but Alexis snaps that she needs to stop being so impulsive. Christina ponders turning herself in, only to have Alexis say that would devastate Molly. So if you're not interested in saving your own life, do it for your sister. Carly asks Curtis to use Aurora Media to remind folks that Drew is an awful human being, thus helping shore up Michael's chances of getting custody. Curtis says he doesn't want to use his platforms to advance a personal agenda, but she points out all he'd be doing is publicizing the many, many sins Drew has committed and exposing him for the terrible person he is. But he points out that Michael is the majority shareholder in Aurora, so a smear campaign might leave Drew looking like the victim. Later, Portia tells Curtis that she and Nina hired a sex worker to frame Drew. He asks where Jacinda is now, and Portia admits she has no clue because they paid the woman a lot of money to leave town. The one thing Portia can't figure out, she and Nina drugged Drew, so how did Tracy get arrested? Curtis immediately realizes that Drew must have framed her. When Curtis worries his wife could be in serious trouble, she assures him the drug links back to Brad. And who's going to believe an ex-con over me? She asks. Curtis suggests a way to neutralize Drew. They need to find Jacinda. At the Crimson offices, Nina tells Ava her theory. Michael, not Jason, is the father of Sasha's baby. Hiding a pregnant mistress might, they muse, be enough to cost Michael custody. But there's one major fly in the ointment. Nina doesn't want to hurt Sasha. Ava, on the other hand, wonders why Sasha and Michael should get to keep their dirty little secret while Willow's entire life is out there on social media for everyone to comment on. They agree this is Drew's fault, and that if Willow gets custody of the kids, she'll never leave him. In fact, Nina thinks it might be best if her daughter doesn't get full custody, especially since Drew will obviously move Willow and the kids to DC the first chance he gets. Ava says that no matter what Nina does, there will be consequences. Her advice? Choose the consequences you can best live with. Michael spends time with Sasha, asking if she'd hang with Wiley and Amelia while he's at the divorce hearing. She can't, however, because Rick has called her as a witness. They try to figure out why she's being called, but can't come up with a reason, deciding that it's unlikely she'll actually be put on the stand. Maybe Sasha reflects, if she told him about Drew and Willow kissing way back when, Michael and his wife could have worked through their issues and would still be together. Michael disagrees, saying he never knew the real Willow. I thought she was so good, so honest, by far a much better person than I was, he admits, meaning neither he nor Willow got to know who they were really with. Sasha says Willow threw away her marriage and deserves a jerk like Drew. Michael spends time with Sasha, the kids, and Carly. When they decide to go swimming, Wiley asks if Mommy can come too. In a dive hotel, Gio looks at his phone and tells Emma it's blowing up. Half the messages are actually from people I don't know, he says. From people I'm so close to that I don't even have their number in my phone, but now we're family. But he refuses to have fake relationships with these new family members. Gio speculates that Sonny might have known the truth, theorizing that that was why he was so generous. Thinking back, Gio remembers that when looking at family photos, his mother never commented on traits he shared with his father. He also remembers Camilla saying that having him saved her life. Emma suggests that his mom was speaking her truth because having Gio come into her life after the death of her beloved husband gave her a reason to keep on going. He decides that Camilla was his mom, and Brooklyn was just a woman who gave him away. Although Gio wants to go on a road trip and get away from everything, he decides he has to go back to Port Charles and figure out how I really feel about my family. In the episode's final moments, Laura pays Alexis a visit to say that there appears to be a lot of money missing from Ace's trust. Lucky tells Liz that he went to see a lawyer about the accident, admitting he knows more about it than he's told her. And Rick shows up at Nina's office to talk about her testimony, leaving her deciding whether to share what she now knows with him or not. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, June 2, reveal that Ace Cassidy's missing $10 million will cause a crisis while Rocco Falconeri wants answers. Sonny Corinthos will also promise Giovanni Gio Palmieri, so here's what GH fans can expect. First, Gio will pay Sonny a visit and push for the truth. Sonny will swear he didn't know that Gio was his grandson until the nurse's ball, so Gio will decide he believes him. As for whatever Gio does next, he'll declare that he's going to do it on his own. Sonny will understand that Gio's hurting and has to work through things in his own way, but he'll remind Gio that he can always come to him for support. Next, Brooklyn Quartermain will have a chance to question Lois Cerullo and Gloria Cerullo together now that Gloria's back to accept responsibility. Brooklyn will ultimately ask if Gloria and Lois regret giving her baby to Camilla Palmieri, but they may stand by their belief that it was the best course of action at the time. Meanwhile, Dante Falconeri will give Rocco updates on his recently discovered half-brother. Rocco will reel over the news that Dante had a son with Brooklyn that he just now found out about. After Rocco wonders how Gio learned the truth, Lulu Spencer will have to admit it was her fault the secret spilled in such a traumatic way. At Elizabeth Baldwin's place, Lucky Spencer just admitted he knows more about her accident than he's told her. When Liz questions what lucky means, will he go through with a full confession or chicken out in the end? Either way, Lucky has raised Elizabeth's suspicions and will have to provide some sort of an explanation now. In Alexis Davis' office, Laura Collins just showed up with concerns about some missing money. On Monday's GH episode, Laura will point out that $10 million has been removed from Ace's estate, so she'll put Alexis on the spot. Can Alexis figure out how to explain the missing funds without tipping Laura off to the blackmail plot that Rick Lansing and Ava Jerome are carrying out? General Hospital spoilers say Alexis will do whatever she can to keep herself out of embezzlement trouble and protect Christina Corinthos Davis from a prison sentence at the same time. General Hospital spoilers reveal the truth that Giovanni Gio Palmieri is Brooklyn Quartermain's, and Dante Falconeri's son has rocked Port Charles, leaving raw emotions in its wake. As the dust settles from the nurse's ball, speculation is swirling that Brooklyn and Dante, despite initial anger, might soon form a tight-knit family unit with Gio, finding peace in their shared bond. Where does this leave Harrison Chase, Brooklyn's husband, who dreams of having his own child with her? If Brooklyn's focus shifts to Gio and Dante, could Chase, unable to have biological children, feel sidelined watching his friend build the family he longs for, and might their adoption plans falter? Chase has stood by Brooklyn through the shock of finding out she had a baby with Dante and never told him, and now through the shock of everything coming out in the wash. But whispers suggest he might struggle as she and Dante grow closer, bonding over his son with Chase's wife. The sight of them forming a happy family could sting, especially since Chase's infertility blocks his dream of giving Brooklyn a child. If their moments together, like family outings, highlight Dan's role as Gio's father, Chase could feel like a bystander in his own marriage. Should he voice these fears, perhaps in a quiet moment at home? Will Brooklyn reassure him, or might her attention on Gio deepen his sense of exclusion? Rumors hint Brooklyn might pour her heart into rebuilding her relationship with Gio, leaning on Dante as they navigate parenthood. This focus could strain her adoption plans with Chase, once a cornerstone of their future. If her emotional energy tilts toward Dante and Gio, Chase might wonder if their dreams are slipping away, especially if Dante's presence stirs old feelings. Should Brooke Lynn prioritize her son, could it leave Chase questioning his role? A candid talk might clarify her commitment, but will she balance her new family with her marriage, or let one overshadow the other? If Brooke Lynn and Dante embrace Gio as a unit, Chase's place could hang in the balance. Dante's efforts to be a dad to Gio might unintentionally marginalize Chase, while Brooke Lynn's divided focus tests their bond. If adoption plans stall, Chase could grapple with whether he fits into her evolving life. Could Dante and Brooke Lynn's family with Gio leave Chase out in the cold, or will he carve a space in their new reality? Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to find out. General Hospital spoilers indicate Nina Reeves is feeling pretty pleased with herself now that she knows Michael Corinthos, not Jason Morgan, is the father of Sasha Corbins. This could jeopardize Michael's chances of obtaining full custody of Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos, as he and Sasha would have hit the sheets while he was married. Michael made a bold move by petitioning for emergency custody and taking the children out of Willow Tate Corinthos' care during the 2025 Nurses' Ball, so Nina will be ready to strike back. Can anyone save Michael from the whirlwind of drama that is about to hit? General Hospital spoilers remind fans that Drew Kane recently made a very stupid move when he arrested Tracy Quartermaine for his ketamine drugging. He knows that Nina and Portia Robinson were behind it all, but Drew likely decided to gain some revenge against his aunt by framing her. What he doesn't know is that Tracy and Ned Quartermaine are aware of Drew's fling with Nina and have hidden it this whole time, almost saving the intel for an opportune moment. Well, it sounds like the moment is now, and Tracy will be ready to blow the roof off things. She's a tad preoccupied with the Gio Palmieri secret, but she'll eventually revert her attention back to Drew at some point soon. Still, will Tracy hold off on spilling the secret for other reasons? In her own odd way, Tracy loves Michael and is fiercely protective of his children. After all, they are Quartermaines. If she catches wind of Nina's epiphany about Sasha's baby, and why Michael kept his paternity of the child under wraps, rather than exposing Drew and Nina's affair, she may use it against Reeves to withhold what she knows about Michael being the father of Sasha's baby. Then again, exposing Drew and Nina's affair could be the checkmate Michael needs to win custody of the kids, even if he's named Sasha's baby daddy, especially if Tracy can clear her name of the ketamine drugging. This would mean that Drew not only has the ketamine drug scandal under his belt with no one else to blame, but he also had an affair with his nephew's wife, as well as sleeping with his girlfriend's mother. No judge will allow Willow full custody of her kids if she stays with Drew. General Hospital spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for Friday, May 30, 2025. It shows Gio Palmieri disappearing. Alexis Davis warns Christina Corinthos Davis. Plus, Michael Corinthos has a big favor to ask of Sasha Gilmore Corbin. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in today's episode of the ABC soap opera. Let's begin with Lois Cerullo, who will desperately try to explain her action. While Lois wants to clear things up for Gio, Brooke Lynn Quartermaine won't allow it. BLQ will insist that Lois stay far away from Gio. However, when Emma Scorpio Drake wakes up, Gio will be gone. Emma will worry about him and might even go searching for him. Chances are that Gio isn't far though. While Gio might need some alone time to clear his head, he's not going to go far as he needs Emma's support right now. Gio might even wake up and decide to get some real answers. General Hospital spoilers for today's episode reveal that Michael will have a big request for Sasha Gilmore Corbin. Sasha will inform her secret baby daddy that Rick Lansing called her as a witness at the custody trial. While Sasha agreed to keep quiet about the baby's paternity, that could be tricky depending on Rick's questions. Sasha doesn't know this yet, but Nina Reeves has already done some investigating. That could be connected to Nana getting some advice from Ava Jerome. Over with Curtis Ashford, he has a warning for Carly Spencer. Curtis says that what Carly is asking could backfire spectacularly. There will also be some scenes between Laura Collins and Elizabeth Liz Baldwin. They will be talking about Lucky Spencer, so Laura will ask Liz if he's above such behavior. Lucky is already keeping a big secret from Liz, but he's also protecting family. Also, Alexis has a sit-down with Lucky and Christina. At one point, Alexis tells Christina that if the police investigate, then she is definitely going to prison. Christina already knows this, but it could have her taking drastic action. Knowing Christina, that will mean things will get worse instead of better. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Friday, May 30, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. General Hospital spoilers boast Port Charles is a hotbed of secrets, and Damian Spinelli's latest cyber dive for Alexis Davis has unearthed a bombshell that could tear the Corinthos family apart. Tasked with helping Alexis untangle a legal mess, Spinelli's hacking skills uncover that Ava Jerome and Rick Lansing are extorting her, leveraging their knowledge that Christina Corinthos Davis cut Rick's brake lines, causing his near-fatal accident with Ava. This revelation of Christina's criminal act, buried under Alexa's costly payoffs, leaves Spinelli in a bind. With loyalties split between Alexis, Jason Morgan, and Sonny Corinthos, what will Spinelli do with this explosive truth? Tell Jason, confide in Sonny, or keep it quiet? Spinelli's tech wizardry was meant to clear Alexis' name, but stumbling upon Ava and Rick's extortion plot, and Christina's guilt in sabotaging Rick's car, will hit him like a freight train. The evidence, possibly encrypted emails or bank records tracing Alexis' payments, paints a clear picture. Alexis has been bleeding cash to protect her daughter from prison. Spinelli's loyalty to Alexis is ironclad, but Christina's reckless act puts him in a moral quagmire. If he spills the truth, he risks betraying Alexis' trust and exposing Christina to legal consequences. Will Spinelli dig deeper to confirm the details, or will the weight of this secret force him to act immediately? The question burning through Port Chuck is whether Spinelli will turn to Jason or Sonny with this bombshell. Jason, his longtime friend and confidant, would likely urge a strategic approach, possibly confronting Eva to neutralize her leverage without involving the law. Sonny, on the other hand, might react with fury, either protecting Christina at all costs or clashing with Rick, his brother, in a personal vendetta. Spinelli's history with both men complicates his choice. Jason's calm logic versus Sonny's volatile loyalty. If Spinelli leaks the truth at a public event like the nurses' ball, the fallout could engulf the Corinthos and Davis families. Can he navigate this minefield without betraying anyone? Spinelli's next move could make or break Christina's life. If he tells Jason, they might quietly dismantle Ava and Rick's scheme, but any misstep could land Christina in jail. Confiding in Sonny risks an explosive reaction, potentially reigniting his mob instincts just as he considers retiring. Keeping the secret, however, might eat at Spinelli, especially if Alexis' sacrifices continue to drain her. Fans are gossiping about whether Spinelli will protect Christina or expose her to save Alexis from further blackmail. General Hospital spoilers gossip Port Charles is a battleground for love, and three couples are teetering on the edge of collapse following the seismic revelations brought into focus this past month, and on the heels of the nurses' ball. Willow Corinthos and Drew Quartermaine, Brooklyn Quartermaine and Harrison Chase, and Lucky Spencer and Elizabeth Baldwin face insurmountable challenges that threaten to end their relationships. From exposed lies to rekindled bonds and manipulative schemes, the fallout is set to reshape their futures. As the custody battle for Amelia Corinthos and Wiley Corinthos and other dramas unfold, will these pairs survive, or are they doomed to part ways? Willow and Drew's alliance, both romantic and strategic in their custody fight against Michael Corinthos, crumbles as the truth emerges. Drew paid a nurse to lie, claiming Michael rejected Willow's visit to Germany during his burn recovery. This betrayal, likely soon revealed by Carly Spencer or Sonny Corinthos, will devastate Willow, who has trusted Drew's support. Her fury, compounded by Nina Reeves' schemes with Jacinda, could end their romance, leaving Willow isolated as Michael pushes for custody. Will she forgive Drew, or is their bond irreparably broken? Brooklyn and Chase's marriage faces a slow unraveling after the nurse's ball explosion, revealing Giovanni Gio Palmieri as the son Brooklyn gave birth to and gave up after a summertime dalliance with Dante Falconeri ages ago. While they hold strong initially, the growing bond between Brooklyn and Dante, forged through shared parenthood and past affection, is likely to gnaw at Chase. His love for Brooklyn could clash with the pain of watching her connect with Dante over Gio, a dynamic that he longs to have with her but can't easily provide since he's sterile. If this tension festers, Chase may step back, unable to bear the strain. Can they weather this, or will Dante's pull end their marriage? Lucky and Elizabeth, newly rekindled after admitting their lingering love, face a swift unraveling as Rick Lansing discovers Lucky knows Christina Corinthos Davis tampered with his brakes, resulting in a near-fatal crash. Rick, seizing the chance to pursue Elizabeth again, could resort to blackmailing Lucky to get him to leave town, threatening to expose Christina's crime unless he complies. Lucky's departure would clear the path for Rick's advances as he picks back up on angling to get back into her life and her bed. General Hospital spoilers reveal that 4 passionate encounters feel inevitable, so let's talk about some pairings that are set to sizzle. Some hot moments are brewing on the ABC soap, so here are some duos who could bring that heat. Now that Giovanni Gio Palmieri's world has been blown apart, he's strengthening his bond with Emma Scorpio Drake. Emma and Gio's friendship is teetering on the edge of a romance, one that'll eventually lead to some sizzling between them. Gio and Emma should hit the sheets down the road, so fans will look forward to continued progress for these two. Jocelyn Jax and Vaughn seem like another duo destined for the bedroom. Now that Jocelyn has had some time to heal following Dex Heller's demise, Vaughn may be the guy she moves on with. Vaughn and Jocelyn's WSB story could pave the way for them to connect on a deeper level than they expected. That doesn't necessarily mean Jocelyn and Vaughn are going to be a true love match, but they could at least have a passionate encounter and see where that leads. Although Brooklyn Quartermain is married to Harrison Chase, she seems poised to grow closer to Dante Falconeri as they try to fix things with Gio. Dante just washed his hands of Lulu Spencer romantically, so they won't be reuniting anytime soon. As a result, GH writers may pull Dante back toward Brooklyn and offer up some temptation. Could Brooklyn and Dante share a kiss or even a hot night together? Whatever the case, some form of a passionate encounter might be inevitable if Dante and Brooklyn feel old feelings rush back. Cody Bell and Molly Lansing Davis also seem destined for some hot scenes sooner or later. Although it's possible Cody might take a passionate detour with Lulu depending on how things play out, the show's definitely been building toward his future with Molly. Cody and Molly should eventually take some big steps forward together, presumably some sizzling ones. That's great news if you've been waiting on Molly and Cody to have a real love story. General Hospital spoilers say some romantic updates are coming up in Port Charles, so don't miss what's in store. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.